Hello and welcome to Roll and Relax. Today we will work on the upper back. I'm Claudia Mühlenweg. I'm the creator of the Naturally Clear Vision Method. I'm a Bates teacher, yoga teacher, and a role model method practitioner. So for today's practice, you need a air-filled, soft, squishy ball, and I recommend the tune-up fitness balls. This is called the Gorgeous Ball. Comes in two colors. Oops, and now they jump away. It doesn't matter which color, they're the same, just different colors. So today I'm going to use the purple one. And then you also need a pair of either the tune-up, yoga tune-up balls. These are the little guys that come in three colors. You can also use the plus balls. They're slightly bigger, less pressure. And I also want you to know that you can do anything at the wall. Pretty much everything we do today, you can do at the wall. So if you have brand new balls and they're really firm and they are too intense for you, you definitely do this at the wall. And if you go to my YouTube channel, there is a video with upper back at the wall. So I definitely recommend that you check that out. However, today we will be doing all the practices on the floor. And I will be using the small ones, but I'm also rolling all the time, so I'm used to this. So please listen to your body. And let's look at some of the muscles that we will be using. So of course, I have so many cards here. So the big guy obviously is the trapezius. So this card is not as nice because obviously this is just half of it, but it's a huge like stingray shape on your lower back. Then we have the rhomboid major and minor, those guys. So that's kind of, this is a shoulder blade here. And then this is the spine. So it's kind of that space between a shoulder blade. And those are probably the biggest muscle areas we will be working on today. But underneath is, let me see, let me organize my cards. So underneath is what's called the erector, do I say that right? Erector spinae group. I never know how to pronounce that. And that's like all these really long strings of muscles close to your spine. And they break down into, so this is the biggest one, the iliocostalis. And then this one in the middle is the longissimus, and the one on the right is the spinalis. So there's a bunch of long muscles right along the spine. And obviously we will not be, going down here. We will be working in this upper area here today. And then there's also, we're not going to be doing the neck, but we might be doing, so this is an area, so see how some of these muscles are basically connecting your neck to your, these are the cervical vertebrae, and then you come into the thoracic spine. So some of those, we will be touching upon some of these guys. So this is the splenius cervicis, the splenius capitis, and the semispinalis capitis. I actually have a really cool 3D app that I just bought where you can see the muscles in 3D. And if you're a member of my Clear Vision Club, I will give you like a whole slide deck with way cooler things than these flashcards. All right, let's get going. So we will be starting using the Gorgeous Ball. And you bring it, this is like a really gentle, nice warm up for your upper back. So you bring it onto your lower back. And then you cradle your head in your hands as if you were doing crunches, which we won't be doing. And you lift your hips up just a little bit. And then you just kind of, again, it always makes those noises, but you just kind of go up and down. You might have done it with the small balls, but this is a really nice way to kind of maybe go side to side in the upper area here. And make sure you're breathing deeply. Just exploring. Inhale and then exhale. So I want you to really breathe into the chest, into the rib cage right now. So we usually work on belly breath, but really work on inhaling. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. So really deep inhale into the ribs. All right, and then let your hips settle down, and we will be coming into a really nice back bend over the ball. So if your ball is super inflated like mine and your chest, like your chin is tilted up, it might be nice to put a block under your head, but we're not going to stay here that long. So I will use a less deflated ball because, yeah, so this might feel better if there's less air in it, but you just want to kind of really let your shoulders relax down to the floor. You can bend your knees. you don't have to have your leg, and actually it might be nice to let your knees come together, have the feet a little wider. And now take a few deep breaths into your chest. You can sigh it out through the mouth if you like that. So the ball is somewhere between your shoulder blades, near the bra strap kind of area. Have your palms face up so that your shoulders can drop down. I'm just going to show it with a block. If you have like a bigger ball or harder ball, it could be nice to just have your head supported. So that for now, with the deflated ball, it's a little bit too little. But if you can also use a half block or a thick book. But it might be nice to use that under your head. If you're like this doesn't feel good. So definitely use support under your head if you have that scenario and your ball is kind of really firmly blown up, or you not using a cordless ball. One more breath. And then slowly roll to the right side, remove the ball, and then we will be switching to either the yoga tune-up, the small ones, or the plus balls. So slightly bigger, or if you have two tennis balls. And so the first area we will be doing is the trapezius. So again, it's a really huge stingray-shaped muscle. So the balls will go right in the middle between your neck and your outer shoulders, a little bit behind you because we're on our backs. So come onto your backs, place the balls kind of pretty much where my top right where my top strap is here on my yoga top. So, and then I want to nuzzle them a little bit more underneath myself. All right, and then just check in. If you already feel a lot, it might be good to stay here, but for everyone else, lift your hips up. And now there's different ways. You can just stay here and breathe. And the higher you lift your hips, obviously the more, where did my yoga block go? The higher the amount of load on the ball. So you can use a block and any kind of level, low, medium, or if you have the ability, you can put it on the highest level. So that way it's just a little bit less work. But if you prefer to also engage, work your glutes and your hamstrings, you can obviously not use the block. A few deep breaths. And now you can start activating and this might be easier without the block, where you just push into the feet and the balls go a little further down your back, and then you pull and the balls come back up. So you the balls maybe move like an inch or so up and down the back of your trapezius. So if you don't feel much, if you want to add more, you can also do this. Stay static and just inhale, lift your arms overhead, and then exhale, lower them back down. Or what I like to do, you leave your arms overhead, but this is a pretty intense version. You leave your arms overhead and then you just do that pushing and pulling. But again, I'm doing this for 5 years almost every day. So don't do this if this is too much for you. Definitely either keep the arms down and do the pushing and pulling, or just be static and breathe. So use what works good for you. It depends also how new the balls are. If you have softer balls versus brand new firm ones. And I even like to reach one arm up and then the other. So you kind of get more into wiggling a little bit. So what I'm doing, I'm reaching my left arm toward the back, and then I'm reaching my right arm toward the back. This feels so good. And then at some point, I also like to take a break and just put my hips on the block. So that way it's just, and then you can still do that kind of reaching one arm back, you're kind of doing a little, I don't know what I would call this, like reaching your hands up into the air. Hello, you could put some music on. So another way to move is to to do the side, to go side by side. This I feel easy at the wall, but we can also do it here by kind of waving one arm, like, so you're shifting. Now I'm rolling the ball side to side on top of the shoulder. Oops, and my necklace got stuck in the balls. So what I'm doing is the balls will go side to side on the shoulder. So kind of, what I'm, you know, they will be moving like a little bit like sideways like this. So my top gets all tangled up here. Again, you can always go to the wall, but this is also nice, and it helps to kind of wave your arms by doing that, so that you, so now the balls go more from toward the neck, toward the outer arm. Not a lot, maybe again, it's like an inch or so. Don't forget the breathing. If you can also leave your arms down. This works too. It's really about, I want you to really start exploring different movements with your own body and just notice what happens. So, you know, I do yoga every day. I mean, I'm pretty fit. So for some of you, holding this bridge pose might be hard. And you can always, where's my block? Okay, super. You can always do this with a block under your hips. You will decrease the load on the ball, so you will have a little bit more, less intensity with the block. All right, and then and just staying here, just a few more breaths. Find like a spot, maybe push your feet, find a spot that maybe that's high on the shoulder, maybe that's an inch lower. You know, the trapezius is a huge muscle, and obviously there's other muscles, the levator scapula, which helps you lift your shoulders like the trapezius also does. But you know, okay, and then slowly lower down. The next thing we will be doing is the rhomboids. So the rhomboids I showed you earlier are those muscles right between the shoulder blades. So we will start with the balls under the neck, kind of like the first, somewhere here, the first thoracic vertebrae. And don't worry, but you're going to be on the top of your back. The balls are together, and we will be doing a similar thing with the feet pushing and pulling, and they will go down to somewhere, you know, kind of toward the bottom of the shoulder blades. If this is hard for you to do on the mat, then definitely do it at the wall. I like it on the mat. It's also a little bit more intense. So you place them on the top. Again, the necklace might not be the smartest thing to wear. And then you cradle your head in your hands. You put your feet pretty close to your buttocks. You lift. Now you don't have to come up this high. You just have to lift your hip. And then you push into the feet, and the balls scooch down the shoulder blades. And now you engage your hamstrings and you pull, and then the balls come back up. Again, if this is too much, and I actually feel a lot today, I guess I haven't done this in a while, you can always do this at the wall by bending and straightening your knees. Ooh, breathe. And if this is too much, you can also just lower your hips, you know, and just rest on the ball, like find a spot that feels tight. We will be doing that in a moment too, but just, you know, check out, and I'm scooching out of frame here. I guess I need to come a little lower. Having a sip of water. So if this is like lifting your hips is too intense, you can always just have the sustained compression and stay there and breathe. I'm going to do a little bit more of that up and down motion. And I definitely feel more intensity on the right shoulder. So what you can do now is lean more body weight into one side. I'm doing that more on the right now. So you're kind of tilting a little bit to that side, because I feel there's more intensity there. And then to the other side. Oh, my top got stuck. That's the thing. That's why wearing really, ideally you wear nothing. This is the ideal scenario. You're doing this at home, basically naked, because you don't have the tops getting, like my top is today, getting kind of connected with the balls. And, Okay, and then find a spot where you feel a good amount of tension. And then just let your hips come down, let your head relax down. So this can be anywhere between the upper back and the lower part of the shoulder blades, and my balls are not equal. So you want to adjust your balls if needed. I wish I could be naked on these videos, but obviously can't. Anyway, so find a spot that your hips relax. And then we will be doing a little bit of an activation. So you inhale, you reach your arms up. And then on your exhale, you squeeze your shoulder blades together, like really hard. And that's activating the rhomboids. And you might feel that. So it's contracting, relaxing. So inhale, relax. Spread between the shoulder blades. And then exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And again, inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze. Wow. 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. And relax, squeeze. Wow. That's really like almost a rope there for me. I'm doing one more. Inhale, relax. Up, inhale, reach, 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 reach. And squeeze. Squeeze those balls as if you're trying to crack some nuts. Relax. And then another thing I love to do is, hugging yourself. So if you have the mobility in your shoulders, you can grab the inner edges of the shoulder blades. So I'm grabbing the inner edges of the other shoulder blades. I'm just rolling side to side a little bit. So you're putting more weight on one ball and the other, and I have to find another spot because here I don't feel much. So maybe find another spot on your spine. Giving yourself a nice big hug, especially if you live alone. I'm living by myself, so it's nice to just kind of hug yourself and give yourself some love. All right. One more thing, I tend to scooch up, I need to come down. So one more thing with 2 balls. Let me look at my notes. I wrote down, okay, there's 2 more things actually. So one more thing, this is called the rhomboid ringer. And it's, so you place the balls anywhere between the shoulder blades where you felt the most tension. And then you will be kind of making using, here, so your body will be doing a crunching and crunching. So you're doing a little bit of a turning of the upper body, bending to the side. So place them somewhere. And if you have too much, you can always rest or go to the wall or, all these things in a row might be a lot, but it feels so good. So you cradle your head in your hands again. You lift your pelvis up just a little bit. And then you do that side bending. So now you're kind of really getting into those rhomboids, just squeezing them out, like wringing them out. Wow. For me, this is extremely nice. It's like a pain level of 2 or 3, but it just feels so good. You can do this at the wall. It's in one of the videos I posted on the upper back on the wall. We have the same thing at the wall. I like it better on the mat, but again, you can always modify it to your needs. Bigger balls will be less intense, older balls will be less intense. Okay, and then come down. And then one last thing here. So you place the balls kind of toward the T3 to 3. T3 is thoracic spine. So it's like, somewhere here. And then you lift your hips. You don't have to lift your hips. If this is already a lot, I'm going to lift my hips. And then we will be doing snow angel arms. So you inhale, you reach your arms up. I have too much stuff in the way. Inhale. So moving your arms all the way to the top and then lower them down. So this is more rhomboid minor, trapezius. Oh yeah. And then also all those erector spinae, that whole muscle group, obviously, on the top part. It feels so good. Just stay there and rock a little bit. So explore what works for you. These are just different ways. Wow, this is where I feel a lot when I have the arms right here in that middle space. So I'm just going to stay here and breathe into that a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting. I never noticed that. So, now I'm doing a little bit of that pushing and pulling. So just be creative, like don't follow, like, because you know, for instance, the book that Jill Miller wrote is really great instructions, but I always encourage you to be creative. And if something doesn't work for you, or you find a spot like I have right now, I have a really good spot, just kind of, you know, explore other movements. So don't religiously follow, like do this 5 times, 10 times. Just check in with what works for you. All right, okay. Yeah, that last one, that was like the best. Okay. And then we will remove one ball, and you just place one ball anywhere between, like between your spine and the shoulder blade. This is the last thing we will be doing on this area. So find, oh yeah, that was the one. And then you just, let's see, here's another good one. And you just move your arm around like seaweed underwater, breathing into the ribs, exploring where do you feel the most. I'm going to lift my hips up a little bit because I want a little bit more on the balls. But again, this is optional. You don't have to do that. Lift your hips up. All right, and then I like to switch the balls so that I don't wear down one. And then we do the other side, find a spot there. Maybe lift your hips up, optional. Find a good one, a good spot. I like, for me, it's like right along the inner, like that spot, like near the edge of the shoulder blade. So it's the medial edge of the scapula, but I'm not on the shoulder blade. I'm just next to it. Okay, and I did have one more thing from trapezius too, and then we're almost done. I have one more thing that we did at the wall the other day. So that's a move that goes from trapezius, and it goes kind of diagonally down toward the, so it kind of ends here, as if like kind of like my yoga top. So it goes from the here diagonally down, and the way you do it, we've done it at the wall before, but let's do this on the floor. So you start with and you have to bend your body. It's a little bit, the first time I did this, it was a little awkward. So if you don't quite get it, don't worry about it. But you put it on the, right, you start on that kind of right here, on the trapezius. You have your arm bent, like a goalpost arm. I'm lifting my hips, and now I'm doing my right side, so I'm demonstrating with the right side. And then I'm pushing into the feet, and I'm straightening my arm, and I'm rolling. I'm bending my body to the side. So the ball travels kind of toward the spine, and then I'm coming back, and it's back at the starting point right here. So if I had a glass wall, I could demonstrate it, but I'm kind of, the ball moves down toward the spine, and then I'm coming back. And you do that with the breath. So inhale. This is where I like all these things, the necklace get tangled up. Yeah, I have a different top I need to wear for this next time. That's a little tighter. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come back down. Oh my God, this is like one more. I want to do one more. This feels so good. Wow. This is a really great move. So I hope, it's a little weird when you do it for the first time, but you really want to, let me see if I can demonstrate it on the cards, on one of these cards. So basically the ball, let me see, this is already, so you start there, right? You start on the trapezius, and then you move the ball down here. So it's kind of a diagonal movement, and you achieve that by doing that. So you'd start here, and then you're doing this reach over, and that's when the ball travels to the middle. So it's like here, reach. So you're also getting a really nice stretch. But let's do the other side. And I'm going to flip around for this one. Let's see. Okay. Yes. Setting clothes. That's why I said in the description tight clothing, and mine has gotten a little loose. So I have too much stuff in the way. Move your props out of the way if you have any. So you start on that here, again, on that top here, right here. You have the arm in a kind of goalpost position. You lift your hips up, And then you inhale and you bend. I'm doing to the right. Now I'm doing the left side. I'm bending to the right. And then exhale, come back to center. Inhale, going, crossing over. And wow, I feel like nothing on this side. The other one was pretty intense. And sometimes you might have to reset a little bit with your feet, or actually I do feel something now. A little bit, but way less than the other side. So inhale, reach. You can go slow. This feels so good. All right. And we have one more thing that's more a little bit relaxing. Let me look at my notes to make sure I have everything that I plan to do. Okay, so we will do one more thing. This is a really nice breath practice. So we're not really rolling, and you put the balls at the bottom, like together, but at the bottom of, like right underneath the shoulder blades, next to each other on the spine. And then you rest your head on the mat, and actually we turn around. So you're not lifting your hips. This is you're not going to lift anything up. So you put them underneath, right where the shoulder blades are, underneath the shoulder blades, right in that kind of middle of the back, kind of the bottom of the upper back, so to speak. Okay. And now I want you, so we'll be doing a breath practice, and I just described it. We will take a deep inhale into the rib cage, like really back bend, and then on your exhale, you will tilt your pelvis, crunch up your abs, like really contract. And then the next breath will be a recovery breath, just a normal inhale, exhale, and then we will do this intense breath again. So follow along. So we will do a round of 5 of these breaths. So the first breath, so inhale, all the way into your chest, and then exhale and really engage your abs, tilt your pelvis, squish the balls into the mat. Normal inhale, normal exhale. And then again, deep inhale. Really arch your back a little bit. And then exhale, squeeze, tighten your abs, tilt your pelvis, squeeze, flatten those balls. And then normal inhale, normal exhale. Again. And then tighten as you exhale. Recovery breath. Another recovery breath, and then one more time. Deep inhale, really reach. And exhale, squeeze. This last breath is so fantastic. Oh, could do like 5 more of these. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you like this class, and your upper back, not lower back. We will be doing lower back tomorrow, and then your upper back feels a little bit more free, a little bit more relaxed. So maybe you found you had a lot of tension. So just knowing if the upper back was super, super tight, that means that you are holding a lot of unconscious tension, that you might be doing unconscious chest breathing, which is stress related. So we did a purposeful inhale into the chest, right? To really activate, spread the ribs. We did that on purpose. So that's different when you practice yoga than if that just that's kind of crazy anxiety that you have. So just notice that, and then use these balls to help yourself to get more into the relaxation, like I did. First time I did this on the ball, I was like, oh my God, I had to do it at the wall. It was so intense. So this is where different ball sizes come in handy. We're ordering the starter kit from Tune Up Fitness, which gives you all the different ball sizes. So it might be great to use the plus balls instead of the small ones. there's so many ways to modify and doing it at the wall, which I've done in a separate video. So if you want to follow me, you can join my my eyesight improvement group on Facebook called See Clearly Without Glasses. And you can download my free guide to 10 Habits for Healthy and Happy Eyes at myholisticvision.com. So see you tomorrow. I hope this was a great revelation for your upper back. Bye-bye.